Hello, fifth graders. Glad you're here to join me for today's vocabulary and write in response to reading lesson. We've got 3 words today, so let's get started. Our first word is the word benefit. Now, benefit can be a noun or a verb, meaning it can be a thing or it can also be an action. And so it's found on page 104. And so on page 104, it is at the end of the third paragraph. I'm going to read the last few sentences of that because we know we want to read all around that word to try to figure out what it might mean. And so it says the charter stated the rights, duties, and goals of the company. The king thought a colony would benefit England. He granted a charter. So he wants them to have a charter, it sounds like, and it says that he thinks that it would benefit them, so he grants it to them. And if it would benefit them, it probably means it would help them, would be my guess. And so in this case, it's used as a verb. It would benefit them. And so a benefit is something helpful or to be helpful in the verb form. And a morphological link is beneficial. That's an adjective. So if something is beneficial, it is helpful. And so the sentence I wrote says, one benefit of riding your bicycle is that you get exercise while helping the environment. So not only are you getting that exercise, but the benefits are helping the environment. Also, the benefit would be it gets you from place to place and it's less expensive. Those are all benefits. It makes it highly beneficial. Go ahead and write your own sentence with the word benefit now. Next word is found on page 106, and it is the word civilization. It is found in the second paragraph. I'm going to read a couple sentences around it to try to help determine its meaning. The English thought they were bringing civilization to the Indians. They believed that the English way of life was the best way. So they thought that they were bringing the English way of life to the Indians and that would be best for them. So bringing this civilization, which ends in that Tion, meaning it's a noun, means bringing kind of their way of life to them. And so a civilization is sort of a social or cultural development. So they're bringing their way of life, which is which is the way that they act socially towards each other and the way that they culturally do things. And this civilization we see in a lot of different words like civil, civics, civility. And it is a very common word when you talk about development of areas or the way that people as groups act. That's their civilization. And we've read in the past about the Mayans. And so this says the Mayan civilization once thrived, but was eventually overthrown and destroyed. So that means that group or that way of life, that culture was doing really well, but eventually it ended up being destroyed. Go ahead and pause the video and write your own sentence now. And our last word is the word indentured. And indentured is found on page 110. And on page 110, it is in that bottom green box there. It says Meet Tom Savage. And it says that the captain liked the boy. He took him on as an indentured servant. That meant Tom would have to work for Newport for 7 years to pay for his passage to America. So indentured kind of seems like indebted, meaning because it's for him to pay to be able to be in America. So he's an indebted servant. He owes him something. So someone who is indentured is sort of forced to work or enslaved, meaning that they owe somebody something, and so they're going to have to do something for them. So my sample sentence says that landowners tried to get their plantations cared for by indentured laborers. So this goes back to what we've learned in the past about slavery and the fact that those slaves became sharecroppers. And this term of sharecroppers was sort of a term where you can have this land, but you have to farm it for me and we'll pay you very, very little. And it was sort of just the new slavery. And those were like indentured servants. They were forced to work for those people for little or no pay. Go ahead and write your own sentence for the word indentured now. And your right and response reading question deals with the images in the text. And you have to first kind of determine a main idea. So it says, which of the images best convey the main idea in the text? So you have to pick a main idea of this text. And there's a number of main ideas in the text. I think as we've went through the text, we've probably seen that it's difficult for the settlers to develop a new colony. I think that that's one of the main takeaways I have. So if that were my main idea, I would then want to find an image from the text that shows this difficulty, that really conveys that it was difficult for them, if that's what I believe the main idea is. So if I were you, I would probably first name what I think the main idea is. And I would say the main idea of this section of the text is blank. And then I would say the image that best conveys this main idea is the image on page blank. It shows, and then explain what the image and how it conveys that main idea. That would probably be a good way to get across my opinion with evidence from the text to support that answer. If you need help or you have questions, please reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Hopefully that helps get you started on that question. Till next time, hope all is well and you're feeling and you're having a great day.